All right, our next competitor from Novo Coffee in Denver, Colorado, Maja Balabanova.
Welcome. Hello. Hello. Right, my first espresso is for my signature drink. All right, are we ready? Am I ready? That's the question. And may I have my music? And time. Welcome, judges. As you will probably notice, I do have an accent. It is because I grew up speaking Czech and I learned English as a second language. I have to learn it so well, in fact, that I am now able to stand here in front of you and present in English. It wasn't easy. It was a journey, one of many journeys that led me here. But there is one journey that we all as coffee professionals have to take, the journey of learning the language of coffee. And that's the one I want to talk to you about today. While doing so, I will be serving you an espresso course, a milk beverage, and a signature beverage made with the same coffee. It is Sidra variety from Finca Lugmapata in Payatanga Valley in central Ecuador, where Enrique Merino started his own coffee journey only 5 years ago. His relatives used to keep cattle on the property before Enrique decided to make a big shift. As for processing, the depulp beans go through 5 days of anaerobic fermentation before they are washed. They are drained on raised beds for 2 days, and they're finished drying in mechanical dryer for 4 days. All this processing creates a cup that is vibrant with complex flavor profile, pronounced sweetness, and bright acidity. My first espresso are for my signature beverage. So they will be chilling over here. All right, now I'll start making espressos for you guys. I will be following a recipe of 18.5 grams of coffee grounds in my portafilter. The extraction time is 21 seconds. And the final beverage weight is 42 grams. You may want to note that this recipe creates a shot that is light to medium bodied, with silky smooth mouthfeel and lingering finish. In your espressos, you will notice the sparkling acidity of a grapefruit, raspberry sweetness that leads into milk chocolate with dark caramel undertones, and lingering Earl Grey. Sorry. If you want to stir your espressos 5 times before you take a sip, and please leave your spoons on the slate, not on the napkin. For my milk beverage, I decided on 4-ounce beverage with the ratio 1:3. And I'm using 75% freeze distilled milk. This ratio and a freeze distilled percentage gives harmonious experience. So besides working as a barista for Novo, I teach an espresso class for our Novo Barista School in Denver. And I noticed that there is one unifying factor amongst my students, and that's that they always want to do more than what they are ready for. I was thinking how to explain to them that you cannot really run before you learn how to walk. And then I realized that it is very similar to learning another language. When you're learning a second language, you need to learn a lot of rules. You are running drills, repeating stuff over and over again until it sticks. I have many years of learning second language, many years of experience learning a second language, ever since I was a kid. And I realized that you have to learn all the rules and all the exceptions. Because when you do, the language opens up to you. And suddenly you see beyond the rules and beyond the grammar and see the meaning of it all. And in that moment, the only thing that really matters is what you want to say. All right, dear judges, the milk beverage is quite dynamic with velvety mouthfeel. On first sip, you will notice strawberry milkshake that disappears quite quickly and leaves us with a caramel steamer and the Earl Grey note from the espresso transforms into a London fog finish on your milk drink. Enjoy. And it is the same way as we learn a second language, we learn the skills of a barista. You have to learn all the best practices and all the rules. So when you have it all down, the only thing that really matters is what you want to say, what kind of a barista you want to be, and how you want to express yourself with coffee. The farm, Lugmapata, was named after a fruit, lugma, that used to grow on the property when Enrique was a kid. I also wanted to bring something from my childhood to the table, so to speak, to honor that story. So I decided to design a signature drink using povidla. This is povidla, which is a traditional Czech plum preserve made with no additional sugar. So here I have 4 shots of espresso, the same recipe I used for your espressos. By the way, the same recipe was in the milk drinks, I forgot to tell you. So it's about 84 milliliters. I'm adding 60 milliliters of a simple syrup that I infused with the plum preserve and strained. The simple syrup is in ratio 1:2, 1 part sugar, 2 parts water. The deep sweetness and aroma of the plum pairs wonderfully with the acidity of the sidra and creates nice cherry flavor. Next, I'm adding 20 milliliters of bay leaf extract that I made by simmering dried bay leaves for 6 minutes and letting soak overnight. The savoriness of the bay leaf balances the drink note into a nice caramel. Then I'm adding 24 milliliters of jasmine green tea. The earthiness of the green tea brings out the chocolate notes of the espresso and leaves us with sweet chocolate flavor. And the jasmine notes pairs great wonderfully with the bay leaf and creates this woodsy aroma of the signature drink. And I'm finishing it off with 100 milliliters of soda water. The carbonation helps balance the drink, the sweetness of the drink, and brings all the flavors to your palate nicely. So the final tasting notes are cherry, caramel, and sweet chocolate. If I may to instruct you to assess the aroma first before you sip. Alright, enjoy. Sorry, I always skip you for some reason. Enrique started only 5 years ago. His farm, Lugmapata, was a cattle farm before he decided to make a big shift, to learn another language, the language of growing coffee. And in my humble opinion, he is right there, at the point where the only thing that really matters is what he wants to say. And I think we should all listen, because what Enrique has to say is very interesting, and it is worth your time. Thank you. Time.
Just give it up for Maja. Maja, can I get you over here?
Where? Over.
How are you feeling?
Tired, but excited.
Is there anybody you want to thank before we start talking about your routine?
I want to thank the whole crew over there from Novo Coffee and my husband, without who I wouldn't be here. So
So, is this your first time competing?
Yes.
One thing I found really interesting about your routine is just about how coffee, like learning how to make coffee, is like learning a second language, which is something you had to do, right?
Yes.
And so, like, I've competed before, and like for me, learning how to be a competition barista is like learning a third language. Then I guess because
Yes, but you need to have the
yep.
basics. It's like when you are a regular barista, you are intermediate. And then when you're a competition barista, you're a proficiency level.
Yeah. So like walk us through kind of like your competition experience this time. What was it like for you?
As probably many people before me said, it does push you to be better barista, to be a better coffee taster, definitely. It is, I remember I was watching Jenna Godfield's routine, and at the end she said, one season in a competition is like 3 years behind the bar. That's how it is.
That's accurate for you?
Yes.
What was your favorite part?
Actually, like presenting the coffee that I love, that I'm passionate about, and being the star of the show.
I love that. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Let's give it up one more time for Maja. All right, we'll be back with a word after a word from our sponsor.